whoever ends up picking this up, if something's unclear, obviously
Right.
come and ask.
Uh, yep. Sounds good. Let me define the upstream link. In the meantime, you guys start thinking about the derived minimal service account needed to install a bundle. I think this one will be a little bit hairy. I'm just grabbing the channel link. Yeah, select. All right.
Yeah, that's good.
So um, oh, alt, explain following function requires a service account. Describe how to derive. Any tips? So I'm just trying to remember what I did in the tool. It's been a week or two. I think we had
Basically,
to,
cluster
yep,
roll for all the rules in the CSV.
yep. There was also a finalizer, right?
For the cluster extension.
Uh, yep,
We already have a separate draft doc for that. I can link you to that.
yep. And then we also need a role for the um,
Other bundle contents.
namespace, yeah, space, scope, bundle, contents. So, uh, and
Cluster
then,
roll for the cluster scoped bundle contact contents,
uh, yep,
which is typically CRDs.
yep, yeah, okay. Uh,
And
CRDs
then,
and some specific ones, I think will
yeah,
need
also
also covered.
cluster, other like more cluster roles and cluster role bindings sometimes,
Yeah,
which leads to bullet number 5, which are all of the rules that are in all of the roles and cluster roles
right.
or
Oh,
escalate and bind verbs.
all of those. Those. Or, sorry?
Or escalate and bind, but maybe I would leave that out because
Okay.
those are a little more open-ended.
Nuanced. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, this is a good start. I'll have to have a look at my tool code, but yeah, I think that's basically what I did.
Do we
Uh,
want to call out the easy button with like a big warning box?
oh, yeah, yep. So, I mean, I've done that in the overview, but it doesn't hurt to put it here as well. So, call out admin. Uh, That's what I was looking for.
I think it should be, I don't think it needs to be kind specific.
No, it doesn't. I would just call that out because that's probably what most people would be using. So, but you can also say, like, or
We're
but
essentially
yeah, the
saying we're going to
intention
create a
was,
we're going to create a cluster role binding on the service account where the cluster role is called cluster admin, right?
yeah,
Is that something that exists in every single cluster everywhere?
that's what I don't know. So that's why I think in the overview, I just put in, consult your cluster,
Okay.
whatever, your Kubernetes vendor for specifics or whatever, because I think it's different in OpenShift. Like I can't remember the
I,
exact differences, but I think,
that's fine. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, or maybe OpenShift gives you multiple ways of doing it. That's also possible.
Do you want to put that as open question?
So, oh no, I don't think we want to mention OpenShift here. Oh, you mean so?
It's
Is there a
fine. It's fine.
standard place
Yeah.
for cluster admin role? Cluster role is yeah.
Uh,
I'm thinking that is something, but I don't know. So it's a good open question.
uh, because it's like related to security, it might be something that gets touched. I don't know. But again, doesn't have to be a big deal, right? Like,
The
just,
docs, the upstream docs talk about the built-in cluster admin role, where
mhm.
cluster admin is the name.
Uh, let's see what. Um, Geez, Louise. So I don't know. Is anyone Googling it?
That's what I just did. Yes, it's
Okay.
I think you're probably safe to just say that. It's on the page that I just linked, but
Okay.
there's
Thank
a
you.
table of default cluster roles where cluster admin is the first one listed. So I think we can probably just say that without having a caveat on it about use in kind.
I think, yeah, we can take it offline, especially because we have two more topics and we can, we should go to them as well.
Uh, let's see. Alrighty. And then the overall architecture documentation, any call outs?
I renamed the issue from, it was like overall architecture diagram, and then I moved it to change it to architecture documentation, and I added
Mhm.
the text like documentation explaining the architecture and then architecture diagram. Joe had a suggestion which I added as a comment. Joe, do you want to talk about your suggestion?
Oh, all I was saying is it would be nice if the architecture diagram could have links that worked in a web page. But I'm not sure how possible that is or if there's
Yeah,
tools that can help us
Might
with.
be able to export it to what's it called? Vector graphics, whatever.
yeah, I don't know, Mike,
Uh,
probably Mike
Like
or
an
Alex.
SVG.
SVG, that's what I was looking
SVG,
for.
yeah, SVG
And
doesn't
then
contain links, right?
Yeah.
uh, mm,
think Mermaid might have mermaid.js might have that functionality, and then that could also be kept under version control that way.
okay. Yeah, that would be nice.
I'll add some links as a comment.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Alrighty. Are we good with that one? Is there anything we want to call out about the architecture? Is it just operator controller and catalog D, or like what's the level of detail that we want to expose?
That's what I was thinking. Basically, like what I was talking about this morning was like something that shows catalog D and operator controller, and then the APIs basically, right? That's like catalog D watches cluster catalog, operator controller watches cluster extensions, and there's an HTTP server that where catalog D is the server and operator controller is the client. So like draw those like boxes and APIs.
Abstraction and the HTTP. Yeah. One. And don't know. I was going to say general flow, but okay. Catalog API reference. So I think this one we might want to make it auto-generated.
Yeah, that would be my preference as well.
So, so Mike already found some tools. Need to find them again that we use internally for generating documentation from the Go doc, I think.
It
So
it might be better to go from the CRD because I think that's what most
oh,
users are
right,
interacting with.
right. Um, but anyway, the CRD documentation comes from the Go doc, right? Of
Yes,
the
but
bits and pieces.
you have to look at the like kube builder comments to understand the semantics of it.
Oh, I see. Okay. So
So like
that's what I'm wondering if, okay, yeah, anyway.
the CRD has OpenAPI in it, and I assume that we could feed something in like OpenAPI into something
Yep.
that'll generate docs.
The Kubernetes documentation has API docs that seem like they would be generated from that kind of stuff, so we could maybe see what they do. But we should also be, regardless of the KubeBuilder stuff, all of our APIs should have pretty descriptive Go doc on them. At least the cluster extension API reference will have plenty of Go doc on it that might be able to substitute the need to interpret the KubeBuilder stuff.
Also, the tool that I found that OpenShift uses, it's actually for the CLI. I mean, I'm sure there's some
Okay.
prior art that might be useful, but it's actually for generating docs, like for CLI commands specifically. That might be more useful if we have, like a kubectl cluster extension or something tool that we want to export for. But I can add a link to that. I'll add a comment with the link for the resource I do have, even if it's off topic a little.
Yep. Doesn't hurt.
I found the link here. You want to drop this into that issue?
I guess we collapse that to a link, but whatever. Okay, so is this sufficient for both the operator controller and catalog the API reference tickets? And silence is consent, then yes. Oops, I skipped Nikolai's. I don't know if Nikolai's on the call, if you wanna run us through this one or what you had in mind?
I think this is about the fact that we do not support install modes other than the all namespaces, bundles with webhooks, etc. I think I wrote it quite a while ago, so I don't remember more details, any more background that rather than what already
Yep,
do
yep,
the
yep.
ticket.
Okay, cool. Maybe, yeah. I think it might be nice to capture this in its own section, but we'll probably have to mention it several times, at least in the overview I did. So,
Yeah, so like first three bullet points, they are automated. We have validations for them. The last one is something we cannot validate at runtime, so we need to mention this.
Yep. Like we won't install bundles that contain it, or if they contain it, it can be installed, but it will be ignored.
Like it will be, I think they will be failing. So they will, some will be crash looping most likely if they use this API somewhere in the entry point. Some will be erroring on reconciliation. It really depends on the operator in this case. So yeah, it's
yeah, it's basically unknown. Like the way that OLMv0 worked is we just tell operators like here's where you can find operator conditions, do whatever you want for the most part. So we have no idea.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mikolai, if you are, we also need someone to assign this to. I don't know if you are willing to, like, if you are you okay taking on this card as well?
not in the coming few weeks, at least, I think.
That's okay. There's not so much work here anyway, and the overview already calls it out. So I can
Yeah,
take it.
I think the brief will be very helpful because I think it describes most of it, and there is a link in the issue to the brief. So I think there is a good start for this, but I'm happy to pick this up after my other commitments.
This one might be something we want to do sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because if we come up with other limitations, it'd be nice if it was like oh cool, let's just drop this next limitation
Right.
quick.
I'm actually working on this. I'm pulling in this downstream docs ticket this sprint, so I can assign this one, and I will I can make like a snippet that we can, like, in addition to the, it would be very easy to create an admonition snippet that we can just put anywhere in the published documentation. So we could just start off the procedure with this warning so everybody always sees it. I can, and I'm working on this downstream ticket this sprint, so you can assign, I'll assign this one to me.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Michael.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I think Paul, I think we have to stop kind of here because we have other topics. So if you get like,
can we spend like 30 seconds on this last one?
Sure.
So choosing what catalog cluster extensions come from. So they also need to understand setting priorities. Oh, okay. So this is all the stuff Todd was working on, basically. Is that correct? Like setting which catalogs are available, which aren't, and so on. Okay, cool. All right. So maybe just in the interest of time, Todd, would you mind having a look at and updating this ticket with anything that you think might be relevant to call out and just simple bullet points?
Yeah, I mean the main thing is the RFC. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, send me the link to the RFC. I can update it now.
I can do this probably
You can do
quicker
it?
than you.
All right, cool. No worries.
Which one?
Thank you.
1132.
Yep. All right, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Bud. Thanks a lot. Sorry, I have to kind of cut you off a little bit towards the end,
No,
but
no worries.
so we have, I think, two more topics, which is Bryce, do you want to go for the next topic about OLM view on supporting tooling SIG meetings?
Sure. Just a quick comment on that. We're going to be, I didn't have time to get it ready for this after this community meeting, but I didn't get any more responses on my message in the OLM Dev Slack channel on meeting times or formal, informal process. So I think we're going to go with a more informal process where we're just kind of an agenda-driven meeting right after this one every week for the SIG for building supporting tooling. So if you're interested in that, starting next week, there should be a meeting on the calendar for the same meeting link and all that kind of stuff to run through and talk supporting tooling for OLMV1. So that's like developer experience tooling, client tooling, things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Bryce. The next topic is from my colleague about missing recordings need to be uploaded to Operator Framework YouTube channel. So there is a thread on this, Mikale. I don't know if you have seen it in the ORM Dev channel. So we are trying to upload it. I actually tried to upload it last week, but I cannot log into the YouTube account because I'm not part of the email and try to ping folks, but nobody has access to that email. Probably Alex might have. So if you log in, try to log into the YouTube channel, right? The way Google accounts does, it sends you a kind of a OTP or authentication code which you need to put in to log in, right? And I cannot get it, so I'm not able to log into the YouTube channel to upload the videos. And I don't know. I think probably we have to reach out to Alex, Joe, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
I was the last one to do uploads, and when I tried to log in to approve Lala's, I got the same TOTP thing that I also don't have. So it looked like it was Alex's email that's like the backup. So I think we can reach out to him and see if we can get that moved over, or at least get the TOTP. I assume then we'll want to change the backup email to one of ours, um, so that we
Okay.
don't have to keep bugging him.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll look into that. Thanks, Joe. So that's that's our discussion topics. We usually do a roadmap check-in, but I think we can skip that, right? Because anyway, we do 1.0 board every day, and I think we can skip it today, so we should be fine. From the previous action item, Joe, you had an action item about update the GitHub actions to include issues with 1.0.0 label to GA project. Not sure if you have progressed with that one or
I
not.
think that's done. Um, but I'll go back and do one more pass and make sure.
Awesome. Thanks. So that's all the topics for today. Anybody have anything else? We have just 2 minutes left for the meeting timing. Cool. Thanks everyone, and talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Thanks all.
Great day.